In this video, I want to be showing you guys my new 7-foot stretch rebounder on NBA 2K25. Now, this build is absolutely insane. Okay, obviously today is double rep in the rec, so I'm not gonna waste too much time. I am gonna quickly go through this so we can get back to the grind. But yeah, this is what this build is currently looking like. Obviously, I've also used my cap breaker on this build. Don't you worry, we are going to go to the build at the end so you guys will be able to see the badges and everything else. But you guys can see we do have a 99 offensive rebound with this build while still being able to have limitless and strength. Okay, so it's a pretty good stretch build in my opinion, and you guys will be able to see from the gameplay. You can kind of play in and out with it. In terms of sort of my animations now, this is something that's probably going to be a whole different video, but I don't know what's happened to the shooting since the start of the season. I don't know what's been going on, bro, but the shooting is terrible. Oh my goodness. Obviously we are still making some of it work, but I ain't gonna lie to you boys, it is a bit of a struggle. You guys let me know if you guys are struggling with the shooting. And again, you guys can see your boy going error. Okay, this is literally live as I'm recording this. Your boy going error. Anyways, we're not gonna waste too much time. We are gonna go into the rec to see some gameplay because I ain't gonna start this stuff back up again. And yeah, we're gonna see some of the gameplay and then we're gonna go into the builder afterwards. So I'm going to be showing you guys 3 separate gameplays that I played. You guys can see I'm also showing some of the center stats. Okay, I am playing really good like center builds. You know, they've got really good rebound, they've got good interior. And you guys can see again with this build, it's pretty much an in and out kind of build. Okay, I really like playing with it. Now the defense, I know people are going to be a bit sus with it. Now I did learn from my other build, the other build I made. If you guys don't know, I had a super high block. I don't really think you need a high block on this game, but I do think having a high interior certainly helps. You guys can see we can go into the post fade as well. Now, I was very curious because if you guys don't know, in order to be able to get a 90 mid-range and 83 three ball in this game, you do have to lower your wingspan. So it's kind of seeing how a low wingspan with a 99 offensive rebound, how is that going to play out? Now, I ain't going to lie, it is pretty good, but obviously in comparison to a build that has like a max wingspan, for example, I have another center build, it's not center build, but I have another power forward build that has, you know, max wingspan with 99 offensive rebound, and there is a difference. Okay, like it's still good with this build, don't get me wrong, and I wouldn't change it for anything, but you know, you're not going to be snagging like if you had a bigger wingspan on the build. You guys can see like some of the rebound. You still get those really good animations, which is pretty nice. Now, that's the one thing I also like about this build. It's just the ability to be able to kind of go in and out. Okay, now it's very, very difficult to guard as the person like the other center playing against me, because when I set a screen, you guys don't really know what I'm planning to do. Am I gonna pop? Am I gonna roll? You know, do you know what I mean? Like, so right here, you guys can see, for example, I decided to roll in that possession because I've been popping a lot. You know, one of the differences that a lot of these centers do sometimes is when they play as a popping center, they always just pop every single possession, so it makes the play style a little bit predictable. So I try to be as unpredictable as I can a little bit. You guys can see kind of mixing up the move right there. If you guys are wondering, I actually didn't show it at the start of the video. Thank 2K for giving me that error code, but that is the Anthony Davis post fade. Okay, it is pretty good. Now, unfortunately, even if we do hit starter 4, your boy can't get no Kobe hop anyway, because you know my teammate Tage has it, but you have to be between 6'5" and I don't know what, but basically 7 foot can't get a Kobe hop this year. So RIP boys to the post hops. But you guys can see the first game we played, we kind of have 26.17 rebounds. Now, the crazy thing about this build is, again, another game where I'm playing a really good center build. The crazy thing about this build is, so far, I actually, you know, I'm getting this really good stats. I don't feel like I'm maximizing my gameplay, though. Like I mentioned at the start, the shooting is absolutely terrible. And I'm not going to, you know, this is a build video, so I'm not going to go into the shooting. You guys can see the rebounding is still there. We can rebound, and we can still go into the post, all right? But the shooting has been absolutely crazy. I don't know what it is. It's just going wild. But anyways, again, getting those rebounds, getting, you know, being standing dunks and everything else, just trying to be as unpredictable. Again, look at those rebounding. It's not even necessarily kind of sneaking in. Obviously, you can get them at a higher rate. So again, just kind of depending on how you're going to play the game. So it gives you a lot of versatility. So I know a lot of these centers, you know, some of you guys like staying out, some of you guys like going to the paint. So whatever your play style is, it gives you that kind of, you know, okay, I want to stay out this game, or you want to, you know, sometimes you see like your teammates setting like 4, 5, 6 screens, and I'm like, okay, I'm not getting involved in this. You guys can see, even if you're in a paint mash, I don't know, I didn't get 3 seconds there, but if you even if you want to get even if you're on a paint mash, you can still do it. So it's been really fun playing on this build. I have been kind of like static, like the you know, getting tons of like rebounds, getting loads of points. I've been getting like 30 points, 20 rebounds, fairly consistently with this build, and this is the only build I've got this year that's actually been able to do that. I don't know if it's because I'm playing center. I don't know what it is, but I've been kind of like getting loads of stuff with this build. You guys can see, even with the rebound, and again, you see, you're still jumping, you're still getting those animations. But one of the things I did realize is, you guys will be able to see hit with the little fade right there. Again, that's also the Anthony Davis fade. One of the things I realized is, obviously, again, when you have that wingspan, you guys can see right here, I was able to grab that. But if there were loads of people in the paint and was crowded, I probably won't be able to get it. That's the difference between like sort of the max wingspan and sort of like having a minimum wingspan with both 99 offensive rebound. But again, just being able to stay out, that's another thing about this build I really do like, is I'm just constantly staying out. I prefer to stay out on this build. So, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, I'll probably make 99 defensive rebound, I would, again, I'll talk about that more when we get to the builder. I don't blame you. I think it's a good way to go. But you guys can see we've got 40 points and 20 rebounds. Again, I don't even think I've ever got that in any of my center builds this year. And I think it's just the ability to be able to stretch the floor. And you guys can see this final game, you guys can see the guy I'm playing, 90 stats all around, okay? Interior, strength, everything, okay? So I knew straight away, these kind of guys, you don't want to back them down, okay? Like, that's why my build is a bit versatile. So rather than trying to go for the back down, this is where that post fade phenom is going to come into play. We're going to, hop for more, post fades, kind of stay out a little bit more, because here's the thing about centers that have high interior. When centers have super high interior, they prefer to be in the paint. That's the reason why they put high interior in their build. And now with this build, the whole point is to take a lot of the shot blockers away from the paint area, staying out. And also I'm able to kind of post them up, which is always good and it's always nice. Now you're probably wondering, Fit, how did he worm you right there? If you've got 99 rebound, you guys will see this is because this is the early part of the build. After the game, I still only have silver box out beast. I am able to get, you guys can see, still snagging, bro. It's crazy. I am able to get half box out beast, and once I get all my cap breakers, I'll also even be able to get legend box out beast, which is absolutely insane. But again, obviously you're not like a high flyer, but you can still catch the odd alley oops if it's been thrown to you. But I love look at the rebound. The rebound is good. Okay, don't get me wrong. Obviously, because I've played on my other builds, I noticed there's a difference, but it is not a bad rebounding build. Having that 99 is really, really good. But again, because this guy has a high interior, you guys can see I kind of adjust to each center I'm playing against. I'm not gonna try and post spin him or drop step him. You guys can see we're hitting him with a snatch back, because if you have a high interior, everything they want to do is guard up. And you guys can see he's dropping right there to go and help. And I'm just going to stay out, shoot some easy threes. Unfortunately, like I said at the start of this video, like 2K, the shooting this season, y'all let me know how are you guys finding the shooting, bro? Y'all let me know if you're still shooting great. But again, the interior defense is not bad on this build, okay? You're not going to be a great rim protector, but you're not terrible either. So again, I've learned from my other builds right here. Look, again, I knew it because he's got interior, man. There's no point in me trying to go for the drop step right there, because I probably won't get it. So I opted again. That's also the Anthony Davis hop, if you guys are wondering. So yeah, I do have a lot of Davis's animations right here. I tried to hit him all the post moves in the universe, you guys, because it's tough. It is tough to kind of get on him, but we got the rebound and we still went up with it anyway. So again, this just gives you the versatility with this build. Like I said, it's not a bad shot blocker, okay? It's not the greatest, but you still have that level of rim protection for having the stats that you have. You guys can see you can still get those, you can sneak in those blocks in here and there. But again, kind of going on for too long a little bit, but I was just trying to showcase. You guys can see even right here, I can dex the setters off ball. I just want to showcase how the build is, how it plays. So you guys can kind of see it, the in and outs of it. But that's pretty much it. Even this guy, that has that super high interior and everything else, we're still able to get 30 points and 25 rebounds. I told you, this build, it stacks up a lot. It is pretty good. But anyways, what we're going to do now is, obviously, we're going to go into the builder. We're going to look at the build, talk about some of the pros of it, the cons of it. But you guys can see, again, I did not have my box out beast, which is why I mentioned earlier when the guy was able to worm me. So we finally got it on gold, but it does go up to Hall of Fame. So let's go into the builder. I'm going to break this build down in a little bit more detail. So here we are in the builder. You guys can see I actually went for jersey number 32 because I was trying to make a whole face scan of Karl Anthony Towns, because this build really does remind me of Karl Anthony Towns, especially now that he's playing for the Knicks, playing center for them. So we are going to go to center position. One of the things I realized actually playing the center, if you guys are probably wondering why I went so heavy on the weight, is I realized even when you have like a 67 speed or a 65 speed as a center, it's actually not that noticeable. Like you're good. And it also allows you to have a lot of strength on this build. You guys can see this build, if you want to, the strength does go up to a 99. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Again, the wingspan, we did lower it to be able to get at 90 mid-range, so we can get at, post-fade phenom on Hall of Fame. We get set shot specialist on gold, obviously silver Deadeye. Now, obviously for me, I would love to have more driving dunk. I would love to have, especially a 90 standing dunk. It would be great too, but there's nothing I can move. You guys can see I tried to, I can't tweak it any more than I already have. Again, the reason why I was able to get the cap breaker and also go heavy on the weight is because I wanted that 99 offensive rebound. I wanted to be able to just be an in and out kind of guy. Now, my other build that has a super high block, a 97 block, one of the mistakes I made, and if you guys are watching this video, you guys are thinking you want to make like a interior shot blocking type of build, I would recommend just go like 80 interior, even an 82, interior defense, and like an 84 block or like an 88 block maximum. I wouldn't even go into the 90s. I don't think it's worth it. I think you're going to be fine. I think the interior defense, I know it's still a bit shaky. Guys are still getting scored on. It is, but trust me, it's definitely better than not having any, especially when you face these Shaq type builds, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. You play those weird odd centers in the rec. Sometimes I have 95 post control, 95 strength, 95 close shot. Like, they think this is a 1v1, and not to say this build can stop that. You definitely can't stop that, and I'm not going to go out of my way to make a build to stop those specific Shaq builds, but at least you have some form of protection. You guys can see that is to get that post lockdown on silver, because here's the thing. When you start shooting threes, you get limitless range as well. When you start to shoot threes in people's face and, you're kind of post fading, they start to think, maybe he doesn't have any interior defense. So they try to back you down. That's what all the centers will try to do. Like, let me see if he's got some kind of interior defense. And once they realize that you do, they'll kind of pass it off. Now, again, the strength is also, I wanted brick wall gold. I've talked about this in all my other videos. Having that brick wall gold is so important, especially not just, for this build, but just in general, okay? It's good to have gold brick wall. You set big body screens, you get your guards wide open. Now, it's even better for this build because when you set that big body screen, whether you're playing with a 3-point shot hunter, you're playing with a mid-range player, a slasher, whatever it is, it allows you to kind of decide what you want to do, because once the screen hits really hard, you can either then pop off to the 3, or if they're playing super heavy on, they're hedging super high, you can just kind of like just go straight to the paint. So it gives you that flexibility. We have 82 vertical. Obviously, we've got higher rebounding. We want the max vertical on the build. The passing is not bad. Obviously, it's not as high as I would like to, but having said that, having a 71 still gives you that, silver dimer, Paolo. You still get the Paolo pass style. So, yeah, that is pretty much it, man. That's pretty much the build. Now, for my future cap breakers, if you guys are wondering, I do have a few choices. I could either go, obviously, with the +1 by the end of the season. Thank you, 2K. I'll be able to get 88 post control, and then my +5 is going to take me to a 93. 93 is very, very specific and very good. You're probably wondering, why is 93 post control very good, fair? I will tell you why. It's because I will be able to get, if you guys can look over here, post powerhouse, you only need a 93 post control and a 95 strength. So you guys see where I'm going with this, right? So I'm going to get my +1 by the end of this season, and then I'm going to use my +5 cap breaker, which would take us to 93 post control. And then for my future cap breaker, if I ever get there, right, whatever that is, with the final one, I'm either gonna go higher on the post control, I don't think I would, or I am gonna go high on the strength. I'm gonna put +5 on the strength, which would then give us Hall of Fame brick wall. You guys can see with 95, but more importantly, with a 96 strength, you also get a legend box out beast. So yeah, I've got options on this, but I really like it. It's really good. Anyways, hope you guys kind of see I've kind of showcased the build as, in the best possible light that I could. If there's anything you tweak or change, you'll let me know. Like I mentioned earlier, if you guys want to do it, with a 99 defensive rebound instead, I still would recommend that. I don't think it's bad at all. Like, I think for most of you guys, I would actually recommend you guys make it at 99 defensive, okay? I think I have an offense. I stay out so much. Like I'm like sometimes I'm like, why do I have 99 offensive rebound? Like, but it does, you know, under rare occasions I do cut to the paint. It does give me that ability to be able to snag. So if you guys want to opt for like a 99 defensive rebound, I will not blame you. But anyways, it's called a 3-level scoring. 3-level scoring board hunter, okay? So hopefully my build name changes once I get my cap breakers, but it's not a bad build name. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, the shooting is terrible, Mike. We're not going to forget that. And yeah, I'll catch you boys in the next video.